So you probably know me as mathematics, but forget the classrooms, forget the philosophers. That's not where I was born. My story, it actually begins in the dark, with the sound of a wolf howling and a human heart just pounding with fear.
What is it that keeps you up at night? Come on, we all have something, right? A deadline, maybe a bill you forgot to pay, just that worry about what's next. It's such a human thing. And that's where my story starts. The story of numbers begins with that exact feeling, anxiety.
I want you to picture this. We're going way back, 25,000 years ago. It's the Ice Age. There's a hunter, right? He's huddled by a fire, but he can't sleep. And it's not the cold, it's not even the wolves outside. It's this gnawing feeling in his gut. A simple question about his 37 sheep that he just can't answer.
So what was the problem? It sounds so simple, but it was everything to him. Were all his sheep actually there? I mean, he could see a big woolly pile of them, he could hear them, he could smell them, but could he know? No, he couldn't. He had way more sheep than fingers, and trying to keep track in his head, it was just a frustrating, hopeless mess. And let's be clear, this wasn't some abstract puzzle. This was life and death. Every single one of those sheep, that was food, that was clothing, that was his family's future. To lose even one and not even know it, that could literally mean starvation. That uncertainty, that was the real predator. And that is where I come from. My origin story. I wasn't born from some leisurely curiosity or abstract thought, no way. I am a tool forged in the fire of human anxiety. That desperate need to know, to be sure, to just have a little bit of control in a really dangerous world. That's my real birthplace.
So that night, something shifted. The hunter picks up his tool-making knife, and he finds a long, smooth wolf bone. And right there, in this moment of just desperate inspiration, he does something that will change the course of human history. He starts to carve.
The idea he hit upon, it sounds so simple to us now. As each sheep walked into the cave for the night, he carved one single notch into the bone. One sheep, one mark. That's it. It might seem obvious, but that idea, what we now call one-to-one correspondence, man, that is the bedrock of everything that came after.
But just stop and think about how wild this actually is. I mean, really think about it. On one hand, you have a sheep. It's alive, it's warm, it's mobile. It probably smells a little bit. On the other, you have a notch. It's cold, it's static, it's just a scratch. They have literally nothing in common. And yet that hunter made this incredible mental leap. He realized one could represent the other. This was the birth of abstraction, the birth of symbolic thought, right there on a piece of bone.
And you know what? The next night, it worked. The sheep file in, and with each one, he runs his finger over a notch. One sheep, one notch. One sheep, one notch. And then all the sheep are inside. But his finger is on one last notch, untouched. One was missing. So he grabs his spear, goes out, and sure enough, he finds a little lamb tangled up in a thorn bush. He brings it back, and for the very first time, a human being could finally sleep soundly, because for the first time, he knew.
And this idea, the tally stick, it wasn't just a one-off. It was so powerful, so fundamental, that it just exploded across the globe. You know, archaeologists find these things, these carved bones, on every single inhabited continent, in cultures that never ever met each other. It was like an idea whose time had come, everywhere all at once. And it just rewired human society. Think about it. Before this, all you had was your memory. And memory, well, it's faulty, right? But afterwards, you had proof. You could make a deal for 10 furs and point to 10 marks on a stick. No arguments. And that single idea opened the door for complex trade, for debt, for credit. And yeah, for better or for worse, it also meant wealth was suddenly something you could measure, something permanent. You could almost say the tally stick was humanity's very first hard drive. Seriously, it was the first time we ever took knowledge out of the squishy, unreliable mess of our brains and stored it somewhere else, somewhere permanent. And that act, that simple act of storing our smarts outside our heads, that's what made civilization even possible. But here's the thing about success. It creates new problems. And my first form, the simple tally stick, had a huge, fatal flaw. It just couldn't scale up. Okay, so 37 notches on a bone. It's a pain, sure, but it's doable. Works just fine for one hunter and his flock. But what happens when the village grows, when the flocks get bigger? What about 3,700? All of a sudden, that simple, brilliant tool becomes an absolute nightmare. Can you imagine trying to carve that many lines on a stick and then trying to count them accurately by firelight? No way! The system was collapsing under its own success. So seriously, how would you solve that? That amazing one-to-one system that freed the hunter? It had become a prison. Humanity was feeling a brand new kind of anxiety. The anxiety of big numbers. The anxiety of scale. The answer wasn't just going to be make more marks. That was a dead end. You guys needed a whole new idea, a way to represent many without making many marks. You had to evolve. And to do that, you needed to invent my next great form, actual numbers. But hold on, don't write off that hunter and his old wolf bone just yet, because that fundamental logic he stumbled upon, that idea of a mark meaning a thing, it didn't just vanish. Oh no, it echoed. For 25,000 years, it kept echoing.
And that echo, it's with you right now. It's humming away quietly at the very core of your most advanced technology.
I mean, just think about it. All of your digital tech, your computer, your phone, everything, it all boils down to that exact same ancient principle. A transistor is either on or it's off. It's a 1 or a 0. It's a mark or no mark. It is the hunter's wolf bone, just shrunk down to a microscopic size and blinking at the speed of light. And that's what makes this so incredible, right? From a simple scratch on a bone to track a sheep, all the way to the binary code that runs your entire world, it's all one long story. The story of humans trying to take an idea from inside their heads and make it solid, make it permanent, make it something you can trust. But here's the thing. In solving that hunter's very practical problem, I accidentally created a new one, a deep philosophical puzzle, a question that poor hunter never in a million years would have thought to ask.
So let me leave you with this. Did humans discover me? Was the idea of 3 already out there in the universe, a fundamental truth that you just stumbled upon? Or did you invent me? Am I just a really, really clever tool, like that first notch on a bone? Were you uncovering the secret language of the cosmos? Or were you just finding a way to get a good night's sleep? That question, it started with that first mark, and it's one you're still arguing about today.